Good morning, everyone. I am very far from home. I'm on a mini road trip, and I decided to go ahead and talk to you guys. And this is about Jesus' race. There's no shortage of videos on YouTube where the title and the thumbnails read, "Jesus is black." Notice I mentioned a present tense. Jesus is black. Now, many of you have also seen videos from YouTube content creators where they have these thumbnails where they portray Jesus as a handsome, long-haired white man. And that is also not correct. Now, I'm giving you my opinions. These are my views. I don't know how anyone could extrapolate
in 900 feet,
that.
Turn left on High Street.
I apologize. I don't know how anyone can extrapolate that Jesus was a white man living in that region of the world, the Middle East. Doesn't add up. What also doesn't add up is the insistence to continue to portray those images as if they are the truth, that Jesus is a white man and was a white man. Now, this topic, is Jesus a black man? And again, present tense. Not was, not will be, but is, like at present, is a black man. Is that a valid argument? And is it the truth? In my view, it is not the truth. Jesus was not and is not a white man and is not a black man. Jesus is not in the likeness of any race among the human family. Not one. And there's a good reason for that. It's because Jesus is, present tense, Jesus is no longer a man. Now, one has to reason. This person that the world knows as the Hamashiach, the Messiah, Jesus the Christ, what was he when he was in heaven with his Father, before his Father dispatched him, that is, inserted him into the world of mankind? What was he? Was he a man? Was he flesh and blood? No. There is no flesh and blood in that spiritual realm of heaven. The angels are not flesh and blood. God himself is not flesh and blood. And the one that the world knows as Jesus the Christ was God's only begotten Son. Many still don't know what that means. What does it mean that Jesus, that the one that the world knows as Jesus, is God's only begotten Son? Son of God. The angels are sons of God. And Satan the devil is also a son of God. God did not create Satan, the devil. God created an angel, a mighty cherub who made himself Satan the devil. So it's important to understand that there are many sons of God, but there's only one begotten Son of God. That the one that the world knows as Jesus the Christ is God's only begotten Son means that God created him directly. He is a direct creation of our Creator. Everything else, the other angels, the universe, the heavens, the earth, were created through that only begotten Son. Let me repeat that. Everything else, the other angels, that is the other sons of God, the heavens and the earth, were created through that only begotten Son, God's first created. So, to answer the question, what was the one that the world today knows as Jesus the Christ? What was his form when he was in heaven with his Father? He was an invisible angel of the highest ranking. There is no angel with a higher rank than the one that the world knows as Jesus Christ. And incidentally, his name would not have been Jesus in heaven. That was the name, or one of the names, given to him when he became a man, a human being, when on earth. The highest ranking angel, think about that, that have made him the chief angel, not a chief angel, but the chief angel. A word for chief in scripture is arch. So Jesus is the archangel. And we read of only one archangel in scripture by name, and that's Michael. You'll read that at Jude, the book of Jude, and also in Revelation chapter 12, where Michael and his angels, you get that? Michael and his angels. Why would Michael have angels? Because he is the chief angel. And the dragon and his angel, they had a war, or there will be a war. That war hasn't occurred yet. And the devil will lose that war. So there's only one archangel, one chief angel, and his name is Michael. Jesus' name in heaven is Michael. I know that the so-called believing world has a very difficult time with this because they have been indoctrinated to believe everything Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Not giving thought that, well, he must have had a name in heaven because Jesus was his name given to him when he was on earth. I'm looking up here at the directional. My vehicle sits high up off the ground and I have to look up to see when the light turns green. So he must have had a name in heaven. His name in heaven was not Jesus. It was Michael, and it is Michael. Now let's ask this question again. Is Jesus, present tense, a black man? No. He is not a man of any race among the human family. He's not flesh and blood. You see, Jesus ascended. He shed his human body that he spent some 29 years in. And when he ascended, what did he do? He returned to the place from where he came. When he was in heaven, he wasn't a flesh and blood human being coming down. He had to be born through a woman, Mary, to become flesh and blood. So when he ascended, he had to cast off that flesh and blood body to return back to the place from where he was sent, from where he came. So when you see these videos where individuals are debating, is Jesus a black man? Don't get caught up in that. Be very careful. Jesus is no longer a man. He ascended. He was a man for some 29 years. He was an angel for, we can't even count the eons. I'm not even talking about years. We can't even count the eons that he existed as an angel. And he is an angel. The most powerful angel that there is, the archangel. It makes sense. Christianity doesn't want things to make sense. Christianity wants to confuse things. Because if Christianity can stir up confusion, it can present itself as a moving target and keep you misled and deceived. You see, if Christianity presents itself as a moving target, you can't get a hold of it. To stop it, and then ask these questions that I'm asking. Is Jesus a black man? No, he's not. Because he's not a man. He's no longer a man. Think about that. When you visualize Jesus in your mind, are you visualizing a human being? Are you visualizing a white man? Are you visualizing a black man? If you are, then you've been taken. You've been deceived. I know I was. I went to my Father, my Creator, my God in prayer in this matter, and with many other matters, many years ago. I rely upon the wisdom and understanding and knowledge of the Father. I can't rely upon my own or any other human being. My son is no longer flesh and blood. He's back home now. He's in the invisible spirit realm. So down here on earth, while we wallow in the mire and we debate and go back and forth about Jesus' race, white people want to usurp him as being white, black people want to usurp him as being black. Information that came out of Russia where Putin supposedly had released some reliefs of Jesus being black. All of that stuff can be fabricated, just like the white Jesus has been fabricated. And it seems to me that people are listening to everyone else out there except God himself. Christianity will teach that Jesus is God. God says, well, this is my son. Christianity, time and time and again, and you Christians, you give God the middle finger. God says, this is my son, and you guys say, no, Jesus is God. And then on top of that, you fabricate a doctrine called the Trinity to support your view, rather than encouraging individuals to listen to the Father, who says, this is my son. Jesus asked his disciples, his closest companions, a question: who do you say I am? And you would think that if anyone knew Jesus' identity, it would have been those that he chose. So Jesus asked them a question. This can be found at Matthew chapter 16, beginning at verse 15 down to verse 17. Who do you say I am? And Peter answered, you are the Son of the living God. Peter did not answer, you are God. You are the Son of the living God. Yet Christianity will say, no, Peter don't know what he's talking about. Jesus is God. God says his son is his son. Even the devil, if one reads the temptation of Christ there at Matthew chapter 4, even Satan the devil acknowledges, if you are the Son of God. So even the devil knows who Jesus is, the Son of God. So we are the ones who have a problem. We get caught up in these foolish and useless debates. Jesus is a black man. No, he's not. Jesus is not a black man. He's not a white man. He's not a yellow man. He's not a red man. Jesus is not a man at all. Jesus has ascended. He is an angel. This is R. Jerome Harris, the disciple. Thank you for listening.